All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. All right, so Intel, the CEO, just a couple days ago, the CEO of Intel got let go. It looked like the board ousted them out because he might have been there for 3 to 4 years, and we'll read this here soon. But yeah, I think he was there for a while, and they looked to him to kind of turn around the company because Intel kind of fell behind Nvidia. Nvidia kind of took over, and Intel was kind of like the number one American chip company, right? Back in the day, and then it just kind of lost its fire to Nvidia, right? Rightfully so, because Nvidia is like the number one chip company right now in the world. So yeah, but I think what Intel is presenting right now is a lifetime opportunity. Again, not financial advice, but just from a price perspective, what I'm looking at, I think Intel presents a really good opportunity. Now let's take a look. I'm going to bring up this article really quick. Intel CEO. All right. Give me just a sec. Oh yeah, and BTC crossed over 100K. This live stream is not about crypto this time. I've been doing a lot of live streams about crypto, so I thought I'd switch it up. But yeah, BTC crossed 100K, so some very good stuff happening in the crypto market. All right, let me share my screen. Give me just a sec. All right. So it says Intel just forced out its CEO. It's a brutal lesson every leader should learn. It says that was the promise when the company. Did it miss some stuff over here? Hold on. Oh, okay. Pat Gelsinger was supposed to save Intel, like I was saying earlier. It says that was the promise when the company named him to top the job back in February of 2021. So it looks like he's been in the position for close to 3 years. A respected CEO and former Intel engineer. Okay, so he worked for Intel before. Gelsinger checked all the boxes and showed up with the plan to restore the company to its former glory not long after he took over as CEO. Gelsinger told an audience his thoughts about the company, focusing moving forward. He said, "We're bringing back the execution discipline of Intel. I called it the Grovian culture," which I'm not sure what that is, but I gotta look it up. I'm always curious about new words. Grovian culture, that we do what we say we will do, that we have the confidence in our execution, that our teams are fired up, that we are said we're going to blah, 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 right? I don't think anyone would disagree that Intel's culture was a problem. Yeah, I mean, they've been around for a while, so I'm assuming they had really good culture. It's just more probably the execution and just adapting to new technologies, right? New trends and things like that. And I don't think anyone would disagree that if there was anyone who understood the culture of Intel, it would be Gelsinger. He spent a good part of his career at Intel and notably was the architect of the 8486 processor. And I have no idea what that processor is, but it looks like it was very critical to Intel's success. But yeah, he basically worked for the company as an engineer, and they said, okay, who better to take the CEO spot than somebody that's been making the chips or been involved in making the chips. But it looks like, and I'm not sure if 3 years is a long time to turn things around, especially when you're basically going against one of the biggest chip manufacturers like Nvidia. I mean, he definitely took on the role at a tough time, right? But there's still a lot of Intel processing and a lot of like Lenovo laptops. If you look at if you work corporate and you have like a Lenovo or HP, Intel does a lot of the processing, right? So they're still very reputable. They still sell a lot of products, and this is why I'm bringing it up because I think it presents a great opportunity in the fact that I was talking about this earlier, right? Like people that make money in crypto, they tend to spend that money or they end up trying to reinvest that money into something very risky again, like right after they made money in crypto. But for me, I'm looking at plays like Intel, where it's like you may not get that crazy growth, that crazy volatility, but it's a solid company. And yeah, they just had their CEO dropped, but that for me, that's actually positive news, right? He came in 2021 and they saw that he wasn't performing or turning the company around the way they wanted to, and the board, kicked him out. That is very positive. That shows that the board actually cares, that they're paying attention, and that they're looking for a candidate to actually turn the company around. And they're already coming out with their own AI or GPU at the end of the 2025. So I think Intel's going to be good in the future. But let's keep reading. Sorry, I just ate. It says, I don't think anybody would disagree that Intel's culture was a problem, and I don't think anyone would disagree that if there was anyone who understood the culture of Intel, it was Gelsinger. He spent a good part of his career at Intel, notably was the architect of the 8486 processor. He had also come as a highly respected CEO, having been voted the best tech CEO while he was at VMware. Okay, so it looks like he was CEO somewhere before. If there was a company more in need of being saved than Intel, I can't think of what it could be. Under Gelsinger's predecessors, the company had faced major delays in its advanced chip processes. It had also fallen far behind its biggest competitor, especially TSMC. And NVIDIA uses TSMC to get their chips. So, again, I kind of say NVIDIA's their competitor, but it's more like TSMC, but they kind of provide the chips. They do the chips for NVIDIA. However, Gelsinger did not turn the company around. In fact, it's not clear whether Gelsinger, I'm not sure, Gelsinger has succeeded in any meaningful way in restoring the elusive Grovian culture. And I got to look up Grovian culture because it's driving me crazy. Grovian. What does that mean? Grovian refers to the practice, strategies, or approaches associated with Joseph Grove Box, a British statistician. Box was known for advocating practical approaches to problem solving and statistics, and famously said all models are wrong, but some are useful. All models are wrong, but some are useful. If you're referring to something specific. Okay. So it's like practical approaches to problem solving, essentially. All right. So that's what he brought to the table. Instead, on Monday, the company announced that he was out after the board grew impatient with his plan to turn around the iconic chip manufacturer. According to Bloomberg, Intel's directors gave him the option of retiring or being fired. It's a dramatic, though not altogether surprising turn of events for a CEO who, for a number of reasons, couldn't live up to the promise of fixing a company where he has spent most of his career. Look, I have no idea whether Gelsinger was the right person for the job, though it is hard to imagine someone imagine someone with a better overall resume. And it's true. I mean, they could pull somebody from outside, but I kind of find trying to think too, what was he not doing, right? I mean, he was facing an uphill battle going against TSMC, which is the leading chip maker. The only kind of good thing that they had is that it was out of America, so they have that mystique about them, where it's like, okay, the chips are made in America. If they succeed, it's a chip company that's in America, opposed to going overseas from Taiwan and getting your chips. So, he had that going for him. But I'm not sure what they wanted. I mean, he was an engineer within the company already. So, let me make sure my mic is working. Yeah, so he was an engineer within the company already. So maybe they just needed to see the price go up. A lot of the times, that's what it is. People want to see the price go up. They want to see demand, or maybe he wasn't hitting certain numbers, right? But from what I could see, I heard that he was actually, they were going to roll out the AI chip or the GPU chip this coming year. So that was on the book. So hopefully that doesn't get delayed. But I'm actually hoping that the price of this goes sub $20 because I was talking about it, when it was sub $20, then it went up to 25. And now it's back at 20, and I think we're going to get into the teens, right? Until they find a CEO, I don't think this price is going to, right now, I just think the company is in, I guess you could say, shambles. But that is where the opportunity lies, and we're going to get into the chart just here. Let's read a little bit more. It says today the company's market cap is less than half of what it was when Gelsinger took over, while at the same time its biggest competitors have skyrocketed. Nvidia, for example, was worth $350 billion the day Gelsinger became CEO. Today it was worth $300 trillion, and that is actually very bad, a bad look on him, the CEO, because I think what Intel's like 100. Let's see. Let's take a look at where Intel's at. Intel, it's at 89 billion, right? So that means when he took over, it was at 160 billion. So under his leadership, the company lost half of its value, right? For whatever reason, maybe it's not him. Maybe it just needs more time, but who knows? But again, that's what happened, and you gotta do speak the facts. And Nvidia went from 350 billion to 300 trillion, 3.3 trillion. So that the ball did drop, right? Because you would think some of that 3.3 trillion would somewhat come to Intel, right? But they lost value. So, and I'm not sure if it's because the GPU chips didn't come out, haven't come out yet. So maybe when those come out next year, or hopefully they don't, like I said, hopefully they don't get delayed for Intel. But I don't know. Maybe he wasn't pushing. Maybe he was just good as an engineer and not good as a CEO, right? Okay. So let's take a look at the price and why I think Intel is so great. One, I always like to look at the history of the chart of the company, and I mean you see it go all the way up from 1990 to 2000, right? And then it crashed, consolidate, and went up. Crash, and I think, in my opinion, what it's going to do, it's going to consolidate and go up, right? If a company's been here 30 plus years, that means it's doing something right. And the fact that the board is ousting the CEO, it just shows that they care about the company, right? Now they are losing market share, but I think they have a lot of stuff going for it. The fact that they're an American company and we don't really have a real good chip manufacturer here in America. So I think Intel could still fill that void, right? But they still need to find a good CEO. I think that's when you're going to start to see the price turn around. But I think $20 and sub $20 is a good price for Intel, right? And this is something I'm going to be looking at next year because I kind of want to put some of the crypto gains in something stable. And Intel's looking like a really good stock. Now, I'm probably going to do a little more research and then hopefully it gets sub 20 because that's what I will be really comfortable going into. If I could get it like at 15, put a good chunk of money in and leave it for the next 3 to 5 years, I'm sure they'll get a new CEO and things will turn around. Because like I said, if you look at a lot of the Lenovo laptops and the like HP and stuff like that, Intel's is the processor, right? It's doing the processing. So it's used a lot. There is a need. The company has a decent balance sheet, and I think it's a good long. I think this is going to be a good 3 to 5 year play. If it could get under sub 20, right? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I think Intel is a very good opportunity, and the reason being, I've been talking about crypto a lot, but I think once you get out of crypto, you need to start looking for places to put your money. And I'm not saying to put your money in Intel, but you need to look at plays like an Intel, right? Something that you could get a solid double or possibly a triple over the next 3 to 5 years. Not like quick flip, but something you could store your money and be like, okay, this in the next 3 to 5 years is going to double, and I can preserve this money, opposed to going in and trying to getting into a staking protocol that promise you to give you like 60, 70% interest or something like that, and then you end up losing all your money, right? So you need to be smart with where you put your money. And for me, not financial advice, I think Intel is a good long-term play. 5 to 10 year play, shortest to 3 years, but at least a 5 to 10 year play. I would say more like 5, because I wouldn't want to be in that long. But for a solid double or triple with a substantial amount of money, I think it's worth it to look into companies like this. Right. All right. So that's pretty. Oops. Copy FaceTime. I don't know what that is. All right. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's not crypto. Again, this is not a crypto channel, but I do know you guys like to talk about crypto. I'll probably talk about crypto tomorrow. But yeah, we got to talk about everything finance, right? We got to throw different stuff in there. Although crypto is very exciting, I think you need to be able to diversify your portfolio once you make all that money in crypto, right? Crypto's nice, but you need to preserve some of that money, and that's kind of what I learned from the last 3 cycles. If you don't take money out, you're going to get screwed, and you need to learn about different ways to preserve your money. Right? And these quality stocks where you can hold for 3 to 5 years and it can give you a double, I think these are some plays to look at, right? All right, so that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.